Hey, it's Soul. Several moons ago, I released a guide to help you people by cutting the crap and starting you off strong on early endgame. I also released a guide for early leveling because the momentum in your first few levels are going to be your most critical. Only 3 weeks are left until Legion's out. Beta's going through its finishing touches finally. It's time to dive back in and make an up-to-date guide that'll get you off to a running start, maybe an early finish, and well on your way to whatever it is you want to do. This is a guide mostly for efficiency at developing your character, and it assumes that you're soloing your way to some level of progression. It's not just a leveling guide. It's not just get to 110 and hop into heroics. There's nuance, there's finesse. Just get through this video and decide for yourself. Here's a word of warning though, stuff still might change between this video and Legion, some more than others. But first, some personal stats. I leveled a transfer toon over the weekend and it took about 20 hours of non-AFK time without rushing or trying all that hard, but I have made numerous max level characters in the past. I probably passed a few optional quests, but I've completed the major quest lines in all zones but Stormheim, and I'm at this point in zone progression. I had about 10,000 order resources, and all factions aside from the Nightfallen are at friendly. I got a few profession quests done, my artifact is this far developed, and my item level was around 790 or so. Oh, and my followers are at this level. Before launch, check if you have all the supplies that you need, like a powered up ring, heirloom trinkets, consumables like flasks and pots, access to a repair or a vendor mount, and empty bags, all that stuff. Are you a demon hunter or a boosted toon? If you are, you can possibly take advantage of a huge experience opportunity, although dailies and assault objectives give severely reduced XP. As of this video, you can earn at or over 10,000 experience for every completion of a late game quest and collecting Draenor treasures. Theoretically, you can prep up a bunch of quests in the Grand to turn in and gather more treasures for huge XP gains, with some players claiming to have gotten 5 levels with this method. Here are some things to point out though. One is that XP could be nerfed to the ground between now and launch. It's probably very easy to hotfix. Second is that you've got to consider if it's really worth getting the early experience. It might be worth getting an easy level or two, but consider some of your needs and the point of this video. If you want access to world quests, you need to get all the major factions to friendly, so at best, power leveling will get you access to Suramar faster, but not necessarily get you fast access to heroic queues, caches of order resources, or artifact power. The expansion really opens up once you get access to quests. Also, to access the first part of the Pathfinder meta and the class armor set, you'll eventually want to complete all the major quest lines. On top of that, I'll ask again, are you a demon hunter or a boosted toon? Surely your main has probably found a bunch of treasures or completed most of the grand storylines, gutting a lot of that potential XP. If you are still interested in getting some fast experience in the first few minutes of Legion though, if you haven't yet, you can switch your outposts in Gorgron, Talador, and Spires of Iraq. You just might have some incomplete bonus objectives there. Complete all but one requirement per objective, then when Legion kicks off, complete them all for the bonus experience. Get whatever treasures you feel like getting, and then get out of there. So let's get to the start of Legion. First, how are the servers doing? If they're doing alright, then get started. If they're not, don't fool yourself and just go to bed. That way streamers and no-lifers like me can level. Yay. From Dalaran, before you start your first zone, visit your profession trainers to get your Legion training. Some are easier than others, but at least get them all started before you go. Consider whether or not you want to buy the item level 850 ring from the jewel crafting shop so you can equip it as soon as you reach level 101. It's 250k gold. My opinion is it's not worth it in pretty much every circumstance. Moving past that, let's get to the zone order. There are 2 zones to pay attention to, Val'sharah and Azsuna. Players with crafting professions might want to hit Azsuna so they can double up and knock out their initial profession quest since they typically start there. Val'sharah is for players who want fast access to an item level 800 chest, which may be useful depending on your tier setup. Otherwise, depending on how crowded your realm is, go where people aren't going. Just don't screw yourself up by shifting from place to place hoping to find a sweet spot. Once you make your decision, just stick to it. Now and then you're going to get bits of artifact power and gain artifact levels. Don't make a rush back to your class hall each time though, cause you're busy leveling, and that 1 or 2 extra points in whatever isn't worth the trip. There are 2 level milestones to hit, 102 and 105. and I guess 110. There's almost no reason to go back to your class hall until level 102, when you unlock some order quests as well as some opportunities to unlock your other artifact weapons. Once you do hit this level, drop everything and head home. Power up your weapon and do the other quests, including the introductory follower mission. If you don't care about your other specs, skip the artifact weapon quest for now. Class hall upgrades will be accessible. Pick something. Since you're probably on your main, your gear should be okay, so you want the order upgrade that helps your mission chances at the start of your day. Remember, you can only research one upgrade at a time, so for your sanity, don't respec until you've completed all your upgrades for the first time. That'll be a month from now if you're diligent. By the time you get back to leveling, you should have a 4-hour follower mission running. If the follower mission completes before you hit 105, don't sweat. There isn't much reason to head back to your hall until you hit 105. Once you do, you'll unlock more class hall stuff. Pick a second upgrade and turn in that mission you left running. You should now have more stuff to do for your order campaign. Take care of that. By now you should have a handful of followers and your choice of missions to do. For efficiency, I suggest the following priority. Stuff for order campaign quest requirements, then missions that give XP, then any short duration mission, and then nothing. Focus on getting your followers leveled up quick and avoid using the disposable troops unless you can safely get all your followers out on simultaneous missions at once. Don't waste time on setting them as bodyguards. At this point you should be on a good pace. Just keep on questing, find treasures, complete bonus objectives, and kill rares for experience. Until you hit max level, you only need to revisit your hall if an important follower mission is completed and or another one is available. If you have a gathering profession, I'll argue that it's okay for you to break from leveling more often than I suggest in order to turn in your quests and power up your gathering. Depending on your realm, resources could be going for boatloads of gold, so try having a bank alt to take care of selling goods for you if you can. Especially if you're a player returning from a long hiatus, you can be sure that there are a lot of players spoiled from easy gold during Warlords who don't know how to hold on to their gains, so try to take advantage of that. If you're completing zones from start to finish, at some point you'll have run into a chef named Nomi, who's probably a dreadlord from how much he'll ruin your life. He starts off a quest for you to learn 6 Legion cooking recipes, and I'm going to predict that while you're in your 3rd zone, you'll have completed this quest. Consider this another milestone. Get back to Dalaran, now. Once you turn in this quest, you can have literally Satan perform work orders to learn cooking recipes. If you don't care about cooking, forget about these work orders and sell your cooking materials. They'll probably go for a lot of gold early on. If you do care about cooking, pump Nomi full of your resources, say a prayer, and get back to leveling. If you've been following the guide so far, levels 105 to 110 won't be all that stressful. Level at your pace, whether it's fast or slow, and just enjoy yourself. So now you're 110, congratulations. Once you ding, a lot of stuff opens up that's tempting to do, but there are specific goals we have in mind for developing our endgame. So fortunately for us, it's easy to make a path that'll maximize our time. We'll want to unlock world quests for the huge amount of rewards that'll come out of that. We need enough resources to maintain Order Hall talent research as well as building artifact knowledge, which thankfully no longer requires a quest to unlock. There's the Order Hall campaign to complete to unlock the 3rd relic slot on our weapon. There's the Obliterum Forge to unlock as well. So first, world quests. If you don't have the first 4 factions at friendly reputation yet, take care of that before pretty much anything else. The next time you visit your order hall, you should have some quests available. One gives you a free piece of gear that you can also spend some extra order resources on and raise its item level a little bit. Go ahead and do it. You should have the resources to spare. Knock out the other quests, but otherwise stay focused on getting those reputations. Just keep completing main quest lines and you should be friendly in no time. Once that's settled and only Nightfallen rep is available, go ahead and get started with Suramar, and if you really feel like it, queue for a dungeon or 2. You can get an additional piece from your order hall set if you complete every dungeon once, regardless of difficulty, but in my opinion this isn't a huge deal. The gear is decent, but your best bet will still be to unlock world quests ASAP. And again, take breaks at your order hall to knock out important missions. Once you do unlock world quests, and it won't take super long, you're gonna have a lot of access to gear, resources, and artifact power. I'll keep things simple and urge you to focus on a few things. If there are any epic world quests up that award high level gear, prioritize that. Find friends or use the pre-made group tool to knock those out. From there, seek out the objectives that give you gear, artifact power, and resources, and when you've cleared out everything you can, complete any other world quest linked to the emissary quests available. Doing a round of that at least once a day will guarantee you'll have enough resources to handle all your research and then some. Just make sure to keep queuing up the research and work orders. Your goal is to hit item level 810, which gets you access to heroic dungeon queues. This is your last big hurdle, and once you're in this spot, you're pretty much in escape velocity depending on how much you like farming dungeons. As your item level goes up, continue to complete world quests for the chance at Titanforge upgrades until you're ready for more organized grouping and start mythic dungeons. Once you're at this point, you'll have a daily routine. Take care of world and emissary quests to keep a steady flow of resources and artifact power. Maintain your artifact knowledge research and your order hall upgrades. Complete priority follower missions and keep progressing into your order hall campaign. If the raid release schedule is similar to the previous expansion, by the time raids and mythic deluxe dungeons open up, you'll have completed your order hall upgrades and maybe the campaign. You should have access to your full order hall set gear, but you might be decked out in mythic dungeon gear too. You should be able to equip 2 legendary pieces of gear if you have it, have your 3rd relic slot unlocked, and this is a wild guess, but you should be progressing to your 3rd golden trait. Whew, and that's your guide. Hope it was useful, and if it was, like and sub to show some support for the channel. Thanks for coming and take care. I'm Soul. Stay breezy, guys.